and I've been noodling on it ever since, and I've tweaked the text and formatted things and edited things and added links for everything.
Kindle. Yeah, the things the Kindle version are amazing. They're turning it into an actual working Kindle book, and I had not thought of doing that. So that's I'm really excited to get that one myself.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to be buying it.
Because all the hyperlinks you threw in there and the reference back and forth and everything, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. And we've gone to the point on the Kindle version of cross-referencing even all of the recipe links. So you can go from the top of the recipes where, like the recipe section. I mean, the recipes are listed in the table of contents, but they're also listed in the recipe section. And each recipe, each section and each recipe are linked to the relevant areas. And then at the end of each recipe, you can backlink up to that category or to the entire recipe list. So if you go, oh, really, I didn't really want to do this orange blossom dry mead, let's take a look at something else, but I don't know what. Let me go up and look at the list, and you can just click your way right back up there.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out.
Yeah, it's coming along nicely. And we got a great cover. Oh my gosh, that turned out really well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the artwork on the cover is just phenomenal. I'm really happy with that. But the other thing about this book particularly was, I love how, I really do love how Mead has had such a resurgence over the last 10 or 15 or 20 years. And I love how it's starting to be recognized as actually, it's not just for Vikings anymore. And I like the presentation of all the books that I've seen. But the one commonality I've seen in the majority of them is they're all looking at trying to make it like wine people. Oh, well, have a nice little something aperitif, and I'm just not that fancy. This is a simple book with simple recipes in it. A couple of award winners, my own. It's every recipe in it is only designed for a 1 gallon batch, except for the braggot, because who makes 1 gallon of beer?
Yeah.
And it's just good drinking mead, And if you're looking for ideas and you're like, oh, that might be interesting, I'll try that. Well, if you try it and you don't like it, what are you out $20-$30 in materials instead of $100? So you're a lot more likely to say, yeah, sure, I'll throw some money at that and try that recipe. It sounds just kind of weird or kind of cool. But this is just, these are like meads for every man, It's like I don't have to be fancy. I don't have to be a Viking. I can just like mead.
There's the next book title, Mead for the Everyman.
Mead. Well, my next thing I'm doing is going to actually be a series by category. So we might be able to work that in.
We're already working on that one.
Yeah.
On the series.
And then if you like the 1 gallon, then you can go ahead and
that's just it. If you do like that, then you can scale it up.
Yeah, that's great. That's kind of the way I do it all the time when I'm doing a new weird one like that mango pine.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the recipes you see online also are for 5 gallon batches, and a lot of people only make it in 5 gallon batches that write these books. And it's like I don't have that much money laying around that I can. Or space, because I move a lot. So I don't have the kind of space laying around to have 20 or 35 gallon batches. But
it's also going to depend on your individual ingredients as well. Like the reason I make small batches in some things is because I can only process so many red currants at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, especially when the ingredients are really work intensive.
Yeah. But I mean that's the whole concept behind this. It's just a book of good recipes. You may or may not make stellar meads. That's not the point. It's just you want to make good recipes that you'll enjoy drinking them, and some of them happen to win medals.
And there's a number of these that have that potential over and above the ones that are already in there that have won medals. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
it was
a couple of really.
Out of the 60 plus recipes that you put in this thing, the one that my eyes kept coming back to and that I am going to make is the Jammy Dodger.
I've got that one upstairs.
Do you?
Yeah, it smells incredible. I just racked it.
Yeah.
just a few days ago. I think that you can catch the coconut went into primary, and then the raspberries I went into secondary. I've never had a good batch of raspberry that was in primary. It's just something about the fermentation of it. Just I don't like the results. So I did the raspberries in secondary on that one, and I can still smell the coconut and the raspberries just coming through. So I can't get you vanilla yet, but I may end up adding another vanilla bean. But
well, you can't have too
smells.
many vanilla beans in my book. That's just me.
It smells really good right now. But yeah, another 6 months or so, and that will probably be ready. But yeah, that one I got from an idea from one of the women I work with. She said, "Oh, you should do one for Jammy Dodgers," and it's probably misnamed a little bit because Jammy Dodgers are biscuits, are cookies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and for some reason I was thinking raspberry zingers.
Yeah, well, that was what came to my mind was raspberry zingers.
I know, but I'd already named it. I really love the name, so I was like, you know what, heck with it.
Hamish is
vanilla raspberry
like,
coconut. Yeah,
biscuits. Yeah. Which he says biscuits. England's getting to you.
No, that was deliberate.
He's been over there for a while.
I followed it up.
I mean, come on, his kid's going to Cambridge, for gosh sakes.
I don't call chips crisps, and I don't call crisps chips, and no, none of that. I'm asking for chips.
Are they still fries, or have they become chips?
Well, they're chips if I'm in a pub.
Because they won't know what you say. If you say fries, they'll look at you funny. I know, I tried.
Still chips if it's served with fish.
Yeah. It's fish and chips,
I've been over here like 4 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've been there a while.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, there's the experimental section, the good tried and true Weirdo Mills. I got some really fun recipes in there.
Oh, yeah.
I had a good time with that
Chipotle
section. You should see what I've
peanut.
since I wrote this. I've been playing around with ginger lately a lot.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
I love ginger. I'm excited for that.
So chocolate, bacon, maple, sweet, bochet cider.
Yeah, I haven't added the bacon to that one yet. It's still on the chocolate.
And then there's let's see here, honey, chipotle honey roasted peanut, and then just plain honey roasted peanut. And then
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, PB. Yeah, peanut butter. Okay, now there's a meadery out west that makes one called Peanut Butter Jelly Crime. It's actually won several medals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I actually didn't know. I was just on a nut roll.
Oh, that was bad. Oh my gosh. And then my buddy Merrick over in Poland made a walnut mead that just sounded phenomenal. So I want to get my hands on some pecan mead. I think would be divine. And I've got a friend that unfortunately I haven't seen in a while, but I really need to sort of get up with her. Her folks own a pecan orchard not too far from here, so I'd like to get into that. But yeah, you've got quite a lot of interesting stuff in here.
It was fun putting them together. All of a recipe. I should have probably designated which ones are proven and which ones are conceptual, but the majority of them I've made.
I was going to ask how many times have you made each of these recipes, and has there been a lot of tweaking, or you just sort of make I know you were saying earlier that you sort of taste it in your head before you make the recipe up.
Yeah.
How close is it to, if that's the way you work, how close is it by the time you get to finishing? How much tweaking do you end up having to do?
Vicky's going to gig me on this one, but I'm usually pretty spot on.
He is.
I just because I said spot on. I'm usually I don't usually tweak much. I don't usually have to tweak it very much. If I'm off on anything, typically it's I may not have hit the sweetness level I really wanted quite right, and I'll just back sweeten it a little bit.
Do you normally like them sweet or dry? Like in general, or does it depend?
I'm kind of in general, I kind of tend towards the heavy end of the semi-sweet range. But I like Vicky had mentioned earlier, I do make Polish stone meads as well. So the heavy gravity stuff is also something I really enjoy. It's just when I drink that, it's more like a dessert.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Polish meads because I did a little research on them because I knew that you made Polish meads. I hadn't really known too much about them. They seem to be mostly traditionals, and it just depends. The style just depends on the amount of water and honey, right? Is that kind of it, or?
Primarily, it's a gravity thing. Yeah, it's the amount of honey per determines. I mean, you can designate our semi-sweet meads into a Polish mead category if you want to, because I can't remember which one that one is, but there is a name for it. But yeah, it's all based on gravity level and how much honey you used in the batch. And then the real thing that will probably, I mean, I know people that will argue the fact that to really make a Polish mead, you need to use a nice Polish Bionus yeast strain, and I in the one that I made, I used EC 1118.
And they seem to like it over there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually that recipe for that mead is in the book.
Oh, cool.
It was that's a lot of honey in that one, but
yeah.
That was an orange blossom, and I think I used cardamom and coriander, maybe.
Yeah, the difference between the Polish meads and just a sweet mead like we have here, aside from the fact that, like the Germans, the Polish have rules about what can be called a certain variety. It must have these ratios. But they're really big mouthfeel, big round. I don't want to say in your face because that's not true. They're big, powerful meads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to describe them sometimes, but yeah, that's pretty apt. Yeah. I don't claim to be a Polish mead maker. Other people keep telling me I am. I just try. I won't say.
You're probably doing something right then.
Well, yeah, they are tasty, they are good, and they do taste similar to your basic Polish styles. And I do try to make them that way when I'm going for those types of meads. But I don't kid myself that I'm a traditionalist or anything.
Well, and I don't think really neither are the Polish mead makers, because you got the ones that are made in the right proportions, but they're also adding berries and linden flowers and all sorts of very interesting things, Yeah,
I mean, a real Polish mead I'm not going to be able to make because I don't have the Polish ingredients. So, it's obviously not.
I don't know, there's linden tree. Well, wait, you're in England. Do they have linden trees in England?
I think they do.
Yeah, I think so.
You must, because we can grow them in Canada.
I say they grow everywhere. I mean, lindens are pretty prevalent. They're like northern climb stuff. You don't find them in... I don't think we have them down here. It's too hot.
Yeah. No, I'm sure we do.
But I know we do back home in Michigan,
Linden trees. I don't know anything. We don't have anything that doesn't have a coconut attached to it.
Or an orange.
They're commonly called lime trees in the British Isles. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is how Floridians stay employed. What you don't see is them running around in the middle of the night wiring up all those coconuts.
Nice. And tying them to sparrows, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
American or European?
I just went flying off the bridge.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, back to mead. Rod, had you tasted... Had you actually tasted mead before the first time you made it?
Yeah. It was Chaucer's, of course. I had a friend of mine gave me a bottle for Christmas in my gaming group, and
You have a gaming group too? Awesome. Sorry.
Well, I'm in between right now, but I had one at the time, and we immediately cracked it open and passed it around and thought we were all, we got our geek on and had mead.
Yeah, because Dungeons and Dragons, man.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I had that a few more times, and then I started trying to find other meads, and it was ridiculously difficult.
Thin on the ground
and I just could never
point.
find anything. Yeah, Vicky knows the whole story about how I got into making meads, so that was intriguing. But it was they actually.
Can you give us the Reader's Digest version of how you got into making mead, or is it not family friendly?
No, this is a family friendly show, so it's okay.
There you go. No, it's fine. I actually addressed that in the book, and I've written it on my blog on Got Mead before. It's while I was serving in the Middle East. I had a couple of friends that were making wine and or Applejack and or